Hello all, welcome to oratrainers.com. In this session, we'll discuss about payable standard invoice import using FBDI in Oracle Cloud ERP. Okay, and let us observe some information regarding this one. The ECM account details in payables import. Okay, and this is a control file which we'll be using for the purpose of loading the data. And coming to the job and table details, this is a standard ESS job, import payable invoice, as well as the tables are there are two standard interface table, AP invoice and AP invoice underscore interface, as well as AP invoice lines underscore interface. Okay. Now, just observe the respective base tables also. For invoice interface, you'll have AP invoices all, and lines interface, you'll have lines all. And distribution, there is no interface table, but in the base table, we have a distribution table. Okay. And obviously, like the linkage between all these three tables will be AP invoices, like invoice ID. Okay. Invoice ID is a linkage. Now, what we do is we'll start with creation of the AP invoice from the UI, and then we'll show how to create using the FBDI. Okay. So navigate to the payables and click on invoices. And this is a initial screen which it gets shows. Click on the task list, and click on create invoice. And this is a invoice header details, and these are lines and the tags and the remaining total information. Now, what I'll do is we have to choose a specific supplier, right? So I'll go with one of the supplier called Dell Incorporation, nothing but Dell Inc. So business unit by default, it got populated based on the user which we considered, which we navigated, I mean to say, logged in. And this is a supplier. I just entered this one. It will populate the supplier side legal entity information. Now enter the invoice number. I'll just say XX Dell underscore 003, and we have to mention the amount also. Description you can ignore. So the remaining got auto populated. Okay. Now what we can do is the next thing is like this is a header information. Now we can also click on show more to have the extra additional details which are generally pre-populated and may not be, we may not be entering them. But there are some set of things which are pre-populated, and it will provide some more extra information for you. Now just see here, like accounting. Can you see this was auto-populated based on the user and the legal entity information, and then the tax. Okay, taxation details. Okay, now so I'll click on show less. We don't require the other information as of now. In the lines, click on this particular arrow mark. Just click on close symbol. As of now, we don't want to match our invoice with any of the PO or other sources. I'll just simply click on close. By default, it will generate the file lines. Enter the information. Enter the line information now. Once it populates the blank lines. Okay, it entered the blank lines now. Just enter the information for line items. Okay, so I'll just say 1500 for one line. And 1000 for another line. And now the distribution details, either you can select a distribution set or you can select a distribution combination. If you want to enter the data for distribution combination, you have to click on the KFF, like I just expand this. If you don't see this icon, click on this particular icon, which shows the list of KFF details, nothing but your accounting code combination details. Just click on search, blank search. I'll just click on the initial one, whichever it is providing me. Similarly, for the next row also, just do the same thing. Do a blind search, click on search. If you have any specific account details, you can mention them, or else you can just go with any of the default one. Okay. Now, so we entered the header information and line details, but now generally what happens is just click on save. Okay. Now we saved it, and here the status, it tells you not validate. It means that it did not validate whether the line amount, tax amount, header amount, everything is correct or not, right? So what you do is click on the invoice action and always calculate the tax. Okay. Now it will calculate the tax information, and then it will validate, says whether all the validations are done or properly or not. And here, if you observe, after applying the tax properly, and it go the amount it is providing now is 2737.50. But what we entered was 2500, right? What we entered was 2500. Now, nothing but the header amount has to match with the total, including the tax amount, right? So what is that? 2737.50. Now just simply click on save now. Nothing but the header amount is nothing but equal to sum of line amount plus tax. Now click on invoice action, calculate tax. Okay, try again, save. I'll just say validate. Okay, got validated. So as of now, the data is available only in the AP invoice level table, right? AP invoices all table. So now what I'll do is I'll just copy the invoice number. Let us try to see whether we have data in these tables or not. So I'll just say API NV data application SCM. And of course, if you want to have the supplier details or the legal entity details, you need to join with other tables, right? Okay, so we got the data. Of course, it is showing multiple lines because you have multiple, like you have lines and then you have a distribution also, right? So now if you just click on this line and click on distribution and see what happens, how many lines it shows, right? For each line, you have one distribution, isn't it? Okay. Now, the next thing we want to see is we want to populate this one to like a GL, nothing but like we want to generate the accounting and post to GL, right? I'll just click on post to general. Okay. Now, this particular invoice will get posted to GL, right? Nothing but it will invoke the subledger information. Now just click on view accounting, right? And now here, if you observe how many lines it displayed, it is displaying 9 lines, right? So nothing but you will find 9 lines in GL when it get posted to GL. Okay. Now what I'll do is I have the query which joins subledger data with the AP invoice data. Okay. So I'll just try to do that. Now here, if you observe, I joined our AP invoice table, AP invoice lines, all AP invoice table. Apart from that, I joined the Excel table, nothing but subledger accounting table. Apart from that, I also joined the GL tables, which has your general ledger information, right? I did a distinct because there is there are some duplicate I was getting. Maybe there could be chance of some join missing, right? So for temporary purpose, I just simply did a distinct. But in real time, better is it is always to find out where you have the issue. Okay, I'll just click on OK here. I want to find out the batch name, right? I want to find out the batch name. Just see where is the issue. One minute. I click on cancel. I already have the query, right? So I'll just say done. Let me copy the invoice number. Okay. Save data. I want to get the batch name. Okay. GL batch name. So just search the batch name. Yeah. So this is a GL batch name, nothing but in this particular batch, our invoice was posted. So to find out the batch details, line details in the journal entry, what you can do, click on general accounting, click on journals. And here in the task list, click on this one and click on manage journals. Now here general, right, contains, I just better prefer you like, the general batch, right? So contains, mention the batch information, or you can go with the start with and everything is also should be fine. Make sure that you select the appropriate primary ledger, right? Now I'll select this one. Okay, now just check the lines here, right? So these are the lines in which our information was posted. Okay, and you can see that, this is based on the subledger set of things, based on your distribution information, it will do the appropriate information posted to the GL. Okay, now, well, let us get into the next task, how do we create the FBDI stuff, right? So this is my XLSM template. I'll just go fast in this one. Now here there are certain, the primary columns I highlighted in the yellow color here. Invoice ID is nothing but, let us say, if you want to load multiple invoices using this template, what you have to do is for each invoice, you just have a unique key, okay? And the respective lines, you'll have information, right? Now here, if you observe, this is my line sheet. Now, the set of lines for a specific invoice, like this key has to match with the header. Okay, now what I'll do is, let us say I'll enter my invoice ID as 3000, and the respective line information of this invoice here should have 3000 like this. This is just an invoice ID for just loading purpose. This is not the actual invoice ID which is available in the AP invoice all table. Okay. Now coming to the next one, like a business unit, source, like you won't need to mention, right? When you import the AP invoice, you need to, like, while invoking the import job, it will ask you which source you want to mention. There are already pre-configured sources. You can also configure them according to your requirement. And invoice number, you can mention them manually. I'll just say XX or 007. And invoice amount, we know it, right? Like sum of lines plus tax amount, invoice date, supplier name, supplier number, site, currency, and the description, right? And now the invoice type and the payment terms, date, accounting date, payment method, group, pay alone, and here liability combination. We know it, right? Like when you create invoice, when you click on show all details in the header, it clearly tells you what is a liability account. And like these are all configuration based setting. It's a functional. The consultant has to provide you all this information, like some set of pre-configured elements based on your BU and all those things. And the remaining all you can just simply go with null, or maybe you can mention the appropriate settings based on the requirement. Okay. But in a high level, these are the highlighted fields are the major columns which you generally use for the purpose of loading. Okay. Now coming to the line information. So here, if you observe the line numbers, line type, and the amount, right? And here, if you observe, this amount should be equivalent to the header information which you mentioned there. And yeah. And distribution combination, right? Like we mentioned already, the distribution combination while entering them. Either you can mention the distribution set or you can mention the distribution combination. Either should work. And the accounting date, make sure that like the period which you're uploading the invoice, that should be open. Okay. And withholding tax and the line group, you can just go with the default value. That's it. So this is the high level information of the AP invoice lines data. Now just save the file. Okay. And now, so I'll just go here, copy, generate CSV file. 1 minute. Okay. Now the file was generated. Now go back. Okay. Next thing what we have to do, we just need to go to tools, schedule process. Load interface file for import. And what is the job name? Import payable invoice, right? Or payables invoice. Just see that. Import payables invoices. Import payables invoices. Now select the data file. Okay. Click on submit. Now the data will be populated to the interface table, right? Just click on refresh. Yep. Few more seconds. This will invoke the transfer file as well as the load file for each particular control file. Nothing but the sheet, I mean to say. Yep, transfer file got invoked now. It completed. It will invoke 2 other jobs. Okay, so we got some error here. Just observe. Okay, let's see whether what happened here. Is there any issue in generation of this one, or it has proper information only? But why it is saying like that? Okay, I think I selected a wrong file. Okay, that's the issue. Okay, now I'll just click on schedule new process. Yeah, instead of selecting the zip file, I selected the XLSM file, right? That's the issue. Import payables invoices. Invoices. Yeah, it depends on the server load, right? So sometimes it is pretty fast and sometimes it will slow. So there is no other option. We have to wait for it. Click on the file, and selection of file is also very important. Sometimes like we may be selecting an old file or a new file, some mistake, because while uploading it will not validate, right? After running, it will validate. That's a functionality here. So that's the reason after transfer file, it failed. Simply just copies the file from the UCM, and then later later it will raise an issue. It will copy the file to UCM, and then it will perform the invocation of the control file for each particular sheet. Now let's try this one this time. This time it should be success. Let's try. But always observe the log whenever you get an error. That is the only place of source where you can find out the root cause of your issue. So load file into interface is a program which reads your CSV file and loads into interface table. So this transfer file will load the data into the interface, load the data into the UCM account. So all the programs has to be successful. Then only it means that your data is uploaded into the interface table. Else we have to validate the issue. Now, the next task is import payables invoices. Let's run that. Import payables invoices. This requires like the BU details as well as the batch details. Okay, let's see that. Okay, sorry, source details. So we mentioned external, right? So make sure that you select the appropriate external source. Okay, this based on these parameters only, it will read the data from the interface table and it will process it. That's why we have to mention the appropriate selection here. Let's try. Okay, for time being, I'll just navigate to the receivable screen. Sorry, payables, right? Payables invoices, AP invoices, payables. Okay, payables. Okay, both are completed, but completed doesn't mean it is successful. Okay, now what we can do is, so what's the invoice number we mentioned? Let me open that. Or you can just open this report, right? Click on this one. So this generates a good amount of, a proper report to validate the information. Okay, so you can always validate the information here itself, whether it was successful or not. Click on this gear icon. I'll just open the HTML report, right? Yeah, this was our invoice number, the 007. It was imported successfully. Perfect. This actually, this for this particular import, Some of the FBDI imports, they have a very good set of, like the output reports. Using that, we can validate all the information there itself. It doesn't need to write any other extra queries at all. Click on search. If you get an error, then obviously you require the error table, okay? Else this should be fine. Yep, this got uploaded properly, and this amount, and you can see the line details now. Click on this invoice number, right? Click on lines. These are 10 lines. That's it. So this is all about the AP invoice import. Okay, thank you.